What are the 5% categories for the second quarter of 2026 for the Chase Freedom and Chase Freedom Flex card? We're going to look at those in this video. Before we go over those categories, I would like to go over the current categories for the first quarter of 2026. And also later in the video, I will go through the Discover It 5% categories for the second quarter of 2026. But right now, while we're still talking about Chase, the first quarter categories are Norwegian Cruise Lines, the American Heart Association, and restaurants. For this quarter, the only category I really used on my Chase Freedom Flex card was the restaurants category. I did not use the Norwegian Cruise Lines category, obviously, because I've never been on a cruise before, so I did not use that category at all, and I did not use the American Heart Association category, but I did use the Chase Freedom Flex card on the restaurant categories for this quarter. That was my dedicated restaurant card for the first quarter of this year. And I found that really beneficial. In the past I was using my City Custom Cash card for restaurants, but I switched it back to gas, which is what I was using it for when I initially got the card. So that 5% on the Chase Freedom Flex card really benefited me this first quarter. Now, moving on to Discover, the first quarter categories for 2026 on the Discover It card were grocery stores, wholesale clubs, and select streaming services. And I used that card. I do have the Discover It card also, and I have been using that card this quarter primarily as my grocery card. I have the Sam's Club credit card, so I was mainly using that card at Sam's Club. I was not using my Discover It card there. And I found that I didn't really use it for the select streaming services because I have another card that I can get 5% back on, which is the US Bank Cash Plus card, because I use that card as my utility card and also my cable, internet, and select streaming services credit card. Before we go on with the video, I just want you to take a moment to consider liking the video and subscribe to the channel, because that really helps a lot. I want to try to grow this channel out, so I would really appreciate it if you would like the video and subscribe, and also feel free to comment down below on what you think of the videos that I'm doing. Now back to today's video. Now, moving on to the second quarter of 2026, the 5% categories for the Chase Freedom and the Chase Freedom Flex card are Amazon, Feeding America, and Chase Travel. Actually, I'm not really surprised at the Amazon category for the second quarter, because last year, and I think it was the year before, the last 2 or 3 years, Chase has had Amazon as one of their categories in the second quarter of 2026. Now, the categories that kind of surprised me a little bit were Feeding America and Chase Travel. Now, I see that this year, by the looks of things, Chase is starting to encourage people to donate to charities with their credit card, but I do want to caution you, just be careful when you do that, because you don't want to overspend and then you don't want to incur interest on these credit cards. Because on this channel, I try to preach that you should only use credit cards for everyday purchases that you would normally buy, and not use them to buy things that you can't really afford. So be sure to watch how you spend with these cards. So that's why I don't typically use credit cards to make charitable donations. But I think that Chase Travel category is a very good category, and I'm going to talk about that here in just a few seconds. While I was editing this video, I did realize that maybe I came across as discouraging from donating to charity, and that's not what I'm trying to do in this video. I think it's a good idea to donate to charity. It's just what I want to try to emphasize is that it's important to be careful how you spend, and spend wisely whenever you do donate to charity, because you do want to make sure that you're not overspending and that you're still fulfilling your personal needs as well. But yeah, it's okay to donate to charity. I mean, I donate to charity myself, and I think that Feeding America is a great charity to donate to. And it's perfectly fine to use a credit card to donate to charity. It's just, I want to emphasize that it's important to watch how you spend whenever you do donate to charity, because you don't want to create any debt for yourself when you're doing that. So I just wanted to emphasize that in this video. Now back to the original video. One of the nice things about that Chase Travel category is that it is stackable with the existing 5% category that is already built into the Chase Freedom Flex card. With that card, you're already getting 5% in the quarterly categories, and plus you're getting 5% cash back, or in Chase's terms, it's actually Chase Ultimate Rewards points is what you're earning the rewards in. You're earning points instead of cash back, but they can be cashed into 1 cent per point for cash back. But anyway, that's kind of drifting off the side here. But anyway, the nice thing about that is this second quarter category of 2026 Chase Travel is going to stack with the existing category that is already on that card. So you will get a total of 9% cash back if you use that category in the second quarter. Now, the way that breaks down is you may think it's 10%, but in reality it is not, because actually you're earning 1% back on all purchases, and then that's your base reward, and then you also get the bonus 4%, which is a benefit of the Chase Freedom Flex card already, and then on top of that you get the quarterly category, which is going to be 4%. So you add that up, it's 4, 4, and 1. So that's a total of 9% cash back that you will get on that Chase Travel category. Now, for the second quarter of 2026 on the Discover It card, the categories are restaurants and home improvement stores. Now, I find both of those categories to be very beneficial in the second quarter. I will definitely be using the card on that restaurants category, and I will continue using my City Custom Cash as my gas card, and I'll just use my Discover It card as my restaurants card. So I do find that will come in handy this second quarter. Now, I do want to remind you that in order to get the 5% cash back on the Chase Freedom Flex card, the Chase Freedom card, and the Discover It cards, you must activate the categories on the respective websites or on the apps. So you do have to activate those in order to get the 5% cash back in those categories. Now, with Chase, you have up until the 14th of June to activate that. And I think the same will hold true for the Discover It card. However, with the Discover It card, In order for you to get that 5% back for the entire quarter, you have to activate it at least before you make a purchase, because it does not retroactively give you points like the Chase Freedom Flex card does. So the Chase Freedom Flex card, you can activate the 5% categories at any time during the quarter, as long as it's before the 14th day of the last month of the quarter, and you will still get 5% back for all your spending in that quarter, because they do give you back retroactively to what you've spent prior to that in that category. But with the Discover It card, it's not retroactive. So I do want to let you know about that. And also, there are spend limits, and that's up to the first $1,500 in spend that you will get the 5% cash back on both the Chase Freedom cards and the Discover It cards. Now, I think that a lot of these categories are really good for the second quarter of 2026. That Chase Travel category, for example, is a really good category because a lot of people are going to be planning their traveling for the summer and the spring. And so this is a good quarter to have Chase Travel as one of the 5% categories. And as I said before, it's stackable, so you'll get a total of 9% cash back in Chase Travel if you use if you have the Chase Freedom Flex card. And I think the home improvements category on the Discover It card, that's a good category too, because a lot of people are going to be doing a lot of spring cleaning in their yards, and probably doing some maintenance on their homes. So that is a good category. And the home improvement category does not work at just home improvement stores like Home Depot and Lowe's. It also works at hardware stores, as well as home furnishing stores and home appliance stores. So you can use it in that home improvement category is really good for this second quarter. Before I conclude this video, I do want to let you know that I am actually staying in a hotel. That's where I'm recording this video from, and it is a Holiday Inn Express and Suites hotel in Altoona, Pennsylvania. And I bought this room with my IHG Premier credit card. And IHG is one of Chase's transfer partners. So with that Chase Travel, you could actually use that Chase Travel category to book a hotel room just like this one that I'm staying in right now. And I did do a hotel tour of this room, and I will put a link to that down below to my other channel, Adventures with John, which is my travel channel, where I did a tour of this room. So I would put a link to that down in the description. I want to thank you so much for watching today. And if you would like to see another video I did on this channel, click this video right here. Thanks again for watching. You be blessed, stay safe, and bye for now.